So, it's been a ride, but I did it. I actually did it. I finished my novel. A whole heckin' novel. I finished a whole heckin' novel. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. But anyways, let me bring you back to the beginning of this adventure. So about 8 or 9 years ago, me and a friend were walking our dogs, and we were making fun of some Marvel movies, or some of the things that we felt were wrong with them, hero stories in general. And one of us, I honestly don't know which one of us did, jokingly said that we should write a book together. So we came up with a storyline, we came up with several books. At the time, it was more like a PG Deadpool with, but instead teenage girls. One had like plant powers and one that was blind and had telekinetic powers. Oh, the days. For me, at least, since then the story has turned into so much more than that. But unfortunately, the co-writer never ever actually wrote anything. There were a lot of times that we would try to get together, try to get things set up to write, and I'd write my little heart out, and they never did. Throughout the years, throughout COVID, and throughout all of the heck that's been the 2020s, they just never wrote anything. But April of last year, 2022, we had a conversation that, the conversation was that I know you're never going to actually write this. I know you're never actually going to work on it. And through that conversation, we come with some agreements, and that being that I would finish actually writing the story. And from there, from April of 2022 to August 11th, I wrote it. I just sped past. I did take a good chunk of time working out the middle of the book, or like beginning to middle of the book that I hadn't already written, and then but the halfway point, and then to the end, in July, I just really went straight through, just hammered it, and just kind of fast drafted it, and it was a time. Oh my gosh. I sped through it. I wrote practically every single day of July. I streamed a lot of it. It was wild. And I streamed the end, writing the end. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, and I did it. I wrote a book. And there's been a lot of things that I have learned, especially in the last month. I've learned both things about myself, and things about my writing, and things that I need to improve. And it's just, it's been a lot. It's quite quite an experience to be writing a book for almost a decade. And then when you finally finish it, well, at least finish the first draft, and to look back on it, and to be actually able to see how you've changed in that time, to see how not only how your skills have evolved, but how your mental state has been, and how it's different than from now. And it's really almost otherworldly. Oh no. It's kind of sobering, and in a way kind of pleasant to see how you have grown and how you moved on from things, and how you are in a better place. Even if the times right now are crazy as hell, and things, going on, especially where I am in the world right now, is heckin' crazy. I can really say that I am in a much better place than when I started the book. It is quite amazing. Back to some of the writing things. It's quite a challenge because there is like a real large gap. The one character that I was writing the perspective of, I know extremely well. I don't really know the other characters anymore, and I have to work on knowing them and work on knowing their dynamic with everyone else. And that is difficult. I've also learned that I'm not good at writing more than like 3 characters in a scene at once. Like, the dialogue is okay when they're talking with each other, but like the descriptions get really watered down and then just kind of fizzle out. The sense of place, there's like no sense of place. It just quickly devolves into just nothing but just random strings of dialogue, and it's something that I have to work on. I'm not a fast drafter. That's what I did through the month of July. I knew where the story was going. I knew how the book would end for years now, but I didn't know like the details of exactly what would happen, exactly how this would be concluded, and how exactly it would go down. And I figured it out with my friend, and me and Dusk, we hammered out the details. I didn't give myself any time to like mentally like feel out the scene or give myself any time to think about how exactly the scenes would happen, and I just wrote them as soon as I knew them, and it was a good experience. But I've learned that I am not a fast drafter. I like my slow and steady way of writing. I like sitting and thinking about it, and I like putting the little puzzle pieces in my mind all together and knowing exactly how it's going to be and knowing how the characters are going to react. And when you fast draft it, you just don't have that. And it's a hot mess. The ending of the book is an absolute hot mess. Another thing is that for the people who know me, they know I write usually very dark. And it was quite a surprise to actually know that, yeah, I can write something really pleasant. Like, before this, like, the main character always dies at the end. It's always like a bloodbath. I kill characters right and left. I don't care. I tend to really make it very depressing and very emotional. And yeah, and this time I just let the characters have fun. I, was like, you know what? Screw it. Let the characters go watch fireworks on 4th of July without any problems. Let them, just go to dinner. Let them go to parks and, to the beach and just have a fun time. Why not? Like I said, it is showing a bit of where my mental state is, but, just let them have fun. Let them be. And I kind of lost the plot, though. I was like, got, swept away by letting the characters have fun. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. The villain's supposed to be doing things. He wants, all these bad things. He's doing all these bad things, and the characters are the ones who have to deal with it. PTSD is a thing I gave my characters. There needs to be a conclusion here. What about the character needing and wanting to go back home on the other side of the country? Yeah, no, just right now the book is like mostly at the very end is just vibes, and I gotta fix it. But I'll fix it. That's what editing's for. And I know I was supposed to make this update like a week ago, but I've just been in the place of, oh my gosh, I finished a novel. I wrote a whole novel. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
7:23 p.m. 7:23 p.m. Wednesday, October 18th, 2023.
About that. Yeah.
I am trying to give myself like 2 or so months before I continue writing again. It's really hard because like I know the things that I messed up with. I know where I have some idea of how I want to fix it, and I want to fix it, but I can't let myself fix it right now. I have to give myself a break. I have to work on other things. I just have to give myself a break just so I can be a little more away from it, so I can be better and come up with better solutions. But not only that, but I have other things I have to work on. I have video scripts to write. I have videos to film. I have videos to edit. I have other things that are coming up family-wise that I have to work on. I also have to figure out what I'm doing now, streaming-wise, now that I actually finished the book. Because I've started streaming, but I did it so I can, like, push myself. Like, there's people watching, kind of like I need to do it, and I need to finish it. And I did that, just, like, to motivate myself. And I did that, and I finished it. And I was like, now what? If you guys have any ideas, it would be greatly appreciated. But that's all I have to say about it. It was just a fun ride. It was an experience. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. Alright, that's all I have to add. I'll run away from the camera now. Sophie out.